The Bitcoin whale that is shorting Bitcoin with $440 million is currently in a slight little profit. And on today's update video, I am going to be exactly review what this whale potentially knows, what is likely going to be happening next on the Bitcoin chart here, because literally the momentum on the 4-hourly time frame is getting squeezed up here. And today we are expected to see a major turning point in the market. So make sure to watch this video till the end. It's going to be very, very crucial to understand. The weekly time frame is giving us some very interesting signals we got before here. So a lot to talk about on today's update video. Of course, I'm going to be talking about Bitcoin, my trades and my trading strategy of this current moment of time here. And of course, I'm going to be talking about Ethereum, giving a slight little update over there here. So a lot to discuss here. So don't forget to once again slap on that like button back above. 1,000 likes will be highly appreciated. And let me jump straight away in towards today's video. So of course, today it's Monday. We had the CME gap creation over the course of the weekend. The CME gap was sitting around 84,000 US dollars, and like you can see basically on this chart here, Bitcoin was about to fill up the CME gap here, but yeah, right now we're just a little bit away from it here. But ultimately I do think we are ultimately going to be filling up this CME futures gap, just like we do like 99% of the times here. So Bitcoin on the 1 hour time frame is still trading in this upward sloping trend line, upward sloping resist line, basically what we call a rising wedge pattern, which is a typical bearish bias pattern. But then if you're looking at the 4-hourly time frame, and let's say you remove all the drawings, you can clearly see here we're creating lower highs on the top side, but also higher lows on the lower side. So basically the momentum is getting squeezed up again here. And if you then draw some trend lines, you can clearly see here that the momentum is getting squeezed up here, and that latest today here, we're going to see a turning point happening in the market. Either we break above the resistance zone, and then we're of course going to see a continuation higher, or either we're going to be breaking down here below the support box and we're going to see another continuation. And like we do know, there's been a major whale here opening up major short positions on Bitcoin, and this whale right now has added even more liquidity towards his Bitcoin short position. To be exact, he's short with about $440 million worth of Bitcoin. And for instance, if this guy get liquidated, it basically means that we're going to get $500 million of sudden buy order in the market. So that is ultimately extremely bullish for the entire market. So currently, indeed, he is in a short position on Bitcoin. And I mean, he is in a slight little profit. His entry price was about 84,000 US dollars. His liquidation price is laying around 86,000 US dollars. So really what I would like to see here is that he gets liquidated. For the ones that don't understand it, if he gets liquidated, he has to basically buy back the position of 440 million US dollars, which is ultimately a very great thing for the entire market. So very excited for what is currently happening in the market right now here. Ultimately, that is going to cause the prices to increase. But yeah, probably this whale does know something here because he is short with 40x leverage. And yeah, you're just not going to be opening up a 40x leverage position without knowing anything here. So I'm going to be closely watching towards this position right here. I'm going to be closely watching this consolidation phase as well here. But we do know that on the bigger perspective, things are starting to look quite great here. The US money printer is about to get on again here. And of course, like we do know here, as there's going to be more money supply, ultimately that's going to be great for Bitcoin and cryptos in general. And then also there was some very interesting news, is that there is a group on X that is gathering a lot of money together right now to try to liquidate this Bitcoin short position. So if that would happen, that ultimately would be extremely exciting. Further on, I mean, in 2 days from now on, we're going to get the FOMC meeting. We basically are guaranteed to have no rate cuts whatsoever, but we do know that later this year, we're going to get 3 rate cuts, and the interest rate decision is not going to be so important. But the FOMC meeting itself is going to be important, because maybe we're going to hear the tone of Jerome Powell saying some interesting things here. And that is, of course, going to be guiding the market about how we should be approaching the market right now here and how much rate cuts we actually can expect here. So yeah, it's going to be very important, and he always has a lot of effect on the market. So Bitcoin still in this consolidation phase on the 12-hour time frame. We, of course, created that bullish divergence, but still that we're right now consolidating here and very clueless which direction we're heading towards. So that is why you want to be looking at the lower time frames to see that next direction. On the daily time frame, however, we did create a bullish divergence, which is ultimately a bullish signal. And on the weekly time frame, we are starting to see some signs that this sell-off is somewhat of exhausted, and it is somewhat of over. I mean, just like the previous times here, every single time whenever we get these, just like we got in the bottom over here, just like we got in the bottom over here, basically whenever we do get that crossover, also you can see it happening over here on the exact bottom. You can see a bullish crossover on the stochastic RSI, and basically after that Bitcoin does increase quite heavily back towards the upside. So the momentum, and like if we're looking at the period, is this a smart range of accumulation? It does clearly look like it here. I mean, we're in a very interesting zone, and really if Bitcoin does see that turn up back towards the upside, ultimately a lot of people have been caught off guard here, and a lot of people have been panic selling their Bitcoins probably, and they will be ending up buying Bitcoin back higher. And just like I stated in many previous videos as well here, today of course we're going to get the US ETF flows back again here. But yeah, we have seen major capitulation on the ETF here, but historically every single time whenever this has happened, it has ultimately shown us the best buying opportunity for Bitcoin in general. So honestly, super excited for that here, and that is why I'm also of course set up my grid trading strategy. I mean, yeah, a couple days ago I already locked in my profit for about 17%, and now I rescheduled my Bitcoin long-term trading strategy. For the ones that don't know it, it's basically an accumulation bot here. What this bot literally does here, and I invested about $50,000 in it. What it basically does here, it accumulates Bitcoin whenever it goes down here. So in this most recent correction, it accumulated, and it will be selling it whenever it goes back up again here. And these red lines are basically sell orders, and these green lines are basically buy orders. And I'm going to be accumulating all the way down to $65,000. I will not get liquidated till then here. And then if we go up here, I'm going to sell all my positions here. And I am making a lot of profit if it does happen so. And I mean, I am very, very certain that Bitcoin is probably not going to go so deep until it moves higher. And that is why I set up this grid trading bot here. So if you think this is a great strategy, I personally really believe it is one. You can literally copy my exact trading strategy right here using the second highest link in the description. Because if you press on this link, guys, you come to this page where you can literally copy my trading bot one-on-one here, which is quite insane here. And if you press on the highest link below, you can go to Pionex exchange itself, and you can sign up an account, and you can potentially even set up your own bot if you feel like maybe you have a better strategy in general. So it's a very exciting platform where you can create your own trading bots there, and it's definitely one of the best strategies to lock in profit in this period in the market especially. So yeah, I will keep you guys up to date exactly about how the profit and how this bot will develop. But of course, if you've been watching my videos for already a couple days, you do know that 3 days ago I already locked in one grid trading bot with 17%, but this one I'm going to let it run till it completely runs out here, because I do believe Bitcoin reversals close, and if Bitcoin, let's say, has another dump towards the downside, my bot accumulates just a little bit more, and then it of course whenever we bounce higher, I'm gonna make even more profit. So that is basically the strategy. It's the best strategy out there in this moment of time here. Then I do want to be dropping some more alpha, because yeah, if we're looking at these more bigger perspective time frames, you can see that historically such a bear trap has actually always happened on the Bitcoin bull markets before here. And honestly, we have not seen any altcoin season whatsoever. We've not seen any altcoin rally. We've not seen an Ethereum rally or whatsoever. And really, guys, if we're looking, let's say, at liquidity that is entering the market from the stablecoin market, we can just see that stablecoin liquidity is increasing more and more. And that ultimately shows you that the possibility for Bitcoin to go even higher is even bigger, because the more stablecoins enter the market, the more buying pressure in general comes back here. And ultimately, that is what is going to be sending Bitcoin much higher. So there's more liquidity entering the market still, and that shows you that the market is still increasing in terms of its users, and ultimately that is going to be the signal which will be giving us, of course, higher prices. And of course, if I'm right now, let's say, going to be overlaying real quickly the USDT market cap over this chart. So now I quickly overlaid the USDT market cap chart on top of the Bitcoin chart, and you can see that in the bear market, this of course decreases because liquidity exited the market. And of course, if liquidity exits the market, it is quite bearish. But whenever we see liquidity entering the market, prices will soon follow. And then here we saw consolidation, market also consolidated. And whenever liquidity increases, it basically means Bitcoin has got a higher ceiling to go to. And you can see the chart basically overlays each other exactly. And only right now, we've seen the prices go lower. Well, actually, the liquidity is still increasing. So liquidity is increasing while Bitcoin isn't at this moment of time here. And that shows you there's a big opportunity that Bitcoin is probably going to increase much more from of this perspective. And here on the chart that I just showed you, it's also included with USDC, so both their liquidity combined here, so it's even more accurate, and you can see it is clearly increasing at this moment of time here. Then also the will that I talked about earlier in today's video, first of all, also had a position opened up Ethereum, and his Ethereum position he actually closed. He was short 25x leverage on Ethereum, but he closed that position, and that is something very exciting. So, and apparently the will isn't so bearish on Ethereum, because otherwise he probably would have closed his position on Ethereum, right? So that is very exciting. I mean, on the daily time frame, we're still creating a bullish divergence. Nothing really happened so far on Ethereum. And if I'm going to be looking at the previous bull market, 2020, Ethereum first collapsed with about 70% here before it ultimately went into this insane bull market and rallied towards a new all-time highs quite heavily. And I mean, currently, we came down 60% on the exploit of Bybit. We all know what happened previously around as well here. I mean, it's down so bad here. And if we're going to be looking to the Bitcoin compared to Ethereum valuation, we're right now in an exponential rally. But of course, whenever an exponential rally ends, it usually ends quite heavily. And that is also, once again, a very interesting signal. And we do have seen a lot of big whales on Ethereum have been accumulating big positions. And just like we can see on the Ethereum against dollar valuation, we have seen right now, once again, the legendary support line getting retested. And yeah, we're once again seeing a major exploit. And this ultimately, these major FOMO, these major fear events usually corresponds with market bottoms. So that is very exciting, very interesting, and I do really want to take this chart very seriously. So I am very transparent. I have stated it for quite a while right now. I've been accumulating in this region right now here ever since $2,100 all the way down to $1,700. This is my accumulation range here. I've been accumulating big positions on Ethereum because I do believe this is a great range for accumulation. Ultimately, I do think Ethereum is going to be bouncing back higher. So yeah, looking forward towards that here. But anyways, guys, this was it once again for me on today's update video. If you did enjoy it, don't forget to slap on the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys back again tomorrow on another update video. Peace out. Goodbye.